Stop for a moment. Just for a moment. Can you feel it? That deep, humming silence beneath the noise of your world. A silence that has been waiting for centuries. A voice, long forgotten, is beginning to break through the static of your days. I am Hildegard, and I have been sent to you, here, in this very moment. This is not an accident. You were led to this place because a message, woven into the fabric of time itself, has finally found its recipient. It has found you. It is a message I was given in visions of living light, a secret I was told to hold until the world was ready. That time is now. If this message has already touched your heart, like this video, subscribe and comment with the word prophecy, because what you are about to hear is not just a story, it is an awakening. You have walked through your life feeling as though you were listening for a sound you couldn't quite hear, a melody just out of reach. You have felt the weight of a world that shouts but says nothing, that shows you endless images but reveals no truth. You have felt the profound loneliness that comes not from being alone, but from being surrounded by noise, and yet feeling completely unheard. You have asked questions into the void, into the quiet of your room at night, into the reflection in the mirror, and the silence that answered you was heavy, wasn't it? It felt like a confirmation of your deepest fear, that no one was listening. But that silence was not empty. It was a vessel being prepared. It was the clearing of a space within you, so that a true voice could finally enter. My voice is a whisper from 1,000 years ago, carried on the breath of angels, and it has traveled through the chaos of history to find your ear. Why you? Why now? Because the veil between the worlds is thinning. Because the questions you have been asking are the very keys that unlock the door I stand behind. You have been searching for a sign, for a flicker of light in a growing darkness, and you have almost given up hope. You have almost accepted that this life is all there is, a struggle, a fleeting moment of joy, and then the inevitable return to dust. But that is the great lie whispered by the shadows. That is the illusion designed to keep your eyes fixed on the ground, so you never look up and see the constellations of truth written across the heavens. You are so much more than you have been told. You are a pilgrim of eternity, a soul carrying a spark of the divine fire, temporarily clothed in flesh and bone, and you are standing at a precipice. The world is groaning under the weight of its own forgetfulness, and souls are starving for meaning, for a taste of the living water. They are told to feast on dust and be satisfied. But you have refused. That small, stubborn part of your heart that still believes in magic, in miracles, in a love that transcends death, that is the part of you that called to me. That is the part of you that I have come to answer. You may feel small, you may feel powerless. You look at the state of the world, the confusion, the anger, the fear, and you ask, what can I possibly do? This is the question that paralyzes the good and emboldens the darkness. But you are not being asked to change the entire world overnight. You are being asked first to simply listen, to receive the truth that is being offered to you. Because a truth, once planted in a willing heart, can grow into a tree so mighty that its branches can shelter nations. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and your journey into the heart of this mystery begins with a single conscious choice to hear what I have to say. So, breathe. Let the tension fall from your shoulders. This is a sacred space, a sanctuary in time created just for you. Here, you do not have to pretend. You do not have to be strong. You only have to be open. For I am about to share with you the beginning of what was shown to me, a vision that shook me to my core, a revelation about the path that lies before you and before all of humanity. It is a path of great peril, but also one of unimaginable glory. It is a choice that is fast approaching, a choice that will determine the course of your soul's journey for ages to come. Do not be afraid. Fear is the lock on the door. Courage is the key. And the message I bring is the map that shows you where the door is. It has been waiting for you. I have been waiting for you. Everything you have ever experienced, every joy and every sorrow, has been leading you to this precise moment of understanding. The tapestry of your life has a golden thread woven through it, and you are about to see where that thread leads. You are about to understand the pattern. But what exactly did she see? And why has it returned now? Part 2. A direct call to the heart. Approx. 1,000 words. Look within. I want you to look past the surface, past the roles you play, the masks you wear, the name you answer to. Go deeper. Find that quiet, tender place inside you that holds all your unspoken sorrows. The place where you have stored every disappointment, every betrayal, every moment you felt invisible. I am speaking to that place now. I see you, the real you. The you that weeps when no one is watching and hopes when there is no reason to hope. For too long, you have believed that this part of you must be hidden, that its vulnerability is a weakness. But I am here to tell you that this sacred wound is precisely where the light enters. It is the soil in which your true strength will grow. You have waited. Oh, how you have waited. For a sign, for a savior, for someone to come and tell you that you were right all along, that there is more to this life. You have waited for the pain to subside, for the confusion to clear. You have stood on the shore of your own life, watching the tides of circumstance pull your dreams out to sea, and you have whispered, someday things will be different. You have prayed in ways you may not even have recognized as prayer, a desperate wish cast into the universe, a silent plea from the depths of your being, and you have felt that those prayers vanished into an uncaring cosmos. You felt the chill of that cosmic indifference, and it made you build walls around your heart to keep the cold out. But your prayers were not lost. Not a single one. Every tear you shed was a seed you planted. Every whispered hope was a note in a symphony that has been building across time. The universe is not indifferent. It is infinitely patient. It has been waiting for you to be ready to receive the answer. The answer could not come when you were distracted by the world's empty promises. It could not come when you were trying to fill the void with noise, with possessions, with the approval of others. It had to wait for the silence. It had to wait for you to exhaust all other options, to turn away from the broken cisterns, and finally seek the living spring. And now, you are here, thirsty, ready. This is why I speak to you now, not as a distant saint in a history book, but as a sister who has walked the same path of longing. I, too, knew what it was to be confined, to be misunderstood, to have a fire burning inside me that the world tried to extinguish. They called me weak, a fragile woman. They did not understand that the visions came to me not in spite of my weakness, but through it. My body was frail, so that my spirit could be strong. I was emptied of my own pride, so that I could be filled with a divine light. The same is true for you. Your moments of greatest weakness are your moments of greatest potential power. It is when you finally surrender, when you say, I cannot do this alone, that the entire force of heaven rushes to your side. This is the turning point. This is the moment you stop waiting for a sign and realize that you are the sign. Your awakening is the event you have been waiting for. The change you wish to see in the world begins with the change you allow within yourself. Let go of the story that you are broken. Let go of the belief that you are unworthy. These are chains forged in the fires of fear. Today, you are being handed the key to break them. The key is a simple, profound truth. You are unconditionally and eternally loved. Feel that. Let that truth wash over you. It is the one truth the darkness cannot stand, for it is pure light. It is the voice of your Creator, a voice that has been calling your name since before the stars were born. If you are ready to accept this, write in the comments, I choose the light. Do you feel the shift? A subtle warmth spreading through you. That is recognition. Your soul is recognizing the sound of its true home. It is stirring from a long slumber. For so long it has been a prisoner in the dungeon of your doubts, but now it hears the music from the world above. It remembers where it came from. It remembers that it was made for flight, not for chains. You have been carrying a dormant power within you, a spiritual inheritance you never knew how to claim. The time to claim it is now. The world needs your light, not the pale, flickering light of the ego, but the radiant, unquenchable light of a soul connected to its source. You might be thinking, but how? What do I do? The first step is the one you are taking right now, by listening, by opening. The second step is to forgive. Forgive yourself for the years you spent wandering in the desert. Forgive yourself for believing you were less than you are. Forgive those who have hurt you, not because they deserve it, but because your own heart deserves peace. Resentment is an anchor that keeps you tethered to the past. Forgiveness is the act of cutting the rope and letting your ship sail toward the new dawn. This is not a path of ease. It is a path of transformation. and transformation can be painful. It requires shedding old skins, letting go of comfortable illusions, and walking into the unknown. But you will not walk it alone. I will be with you. The guidance that flows through me is a promise that you are seen, you are held, and you are cherished beyond measure. The silence you once feared will become your greatest teacher. It is the canvas upon which the visions are painted, and it was in that very silence, the one you know so well, that Hildegard received the vision that she must now share with you. Part 3. The Vision of Saint Hildegard, approx 900 words. Close your eyes for a moment if you can. If not, just soften your gaze. I want you to imagine not with your mind, but with your soul. Imagine a vast, starless emptiness, a silence so profound it has a weight, a presence. This is where the vision began for me, not in a flash of lightning, but in an utter and complete stillness. I was taken out of my body, out of time, and placed within this sacred void. It was the space between breaths, the pause between heartbeats, the womb of all creation. And in that void, I felt the loneliness of the world. I felt the collective ache of every soul crying out for meaning, their voices a scattered, discordant chorus of pain. Then, from the heart of this emptiness, a single point of light appeared. It was no bigger than a pinprick, but it was more brilliant than 1,000 suns. It did not push the darkness away. It transformed it. The darkness became a velvet canvas for its glory, and this light began to expand, slowly, gracefully, like a flower blooming in an impossible desert. As it grew, it revealed colors that have no name on earth, hues that sang with a living frequency. This was not a passive light. It was an active, intelligent, and loving consciousness. It was the source of all that is, was, and ever will be. It was the face of God, unveiled. And I watched as this light pulsed, sending out waves of pure love and intention. With each pulse, I saw the genesis of universes. I saw galaxies being born from a single thought. I saw the divine blueprint, the intricate, sacred geometry that underpins all of existence. And I saw our world, a tiny, exquisite jewel floating in the cosmic sea. I saw its potential, its intended glory, a garden where heaven and earth would meet, where souls could learn the art of love through the experience of form. It was a breathtakingly beautiful plan. But then, the vision shifted. A shadow fell. From the corner of this perfect creation, I saw a subtle distortion, like heat rising from a road. It was the birth of doubt, the whisper of separation, the illusion that a part could ever be separate from the whole. And I saw this illusion spread like a disease, a creeping frost that began to deaden the vibrant colors of the world. I saw the veil descend. It was a fabric woven from fear, from pride, from the belief in scarcity. It fell between humanity and the divine light, between people and their own souls. And beneath this veil, humanity began to forget. They forgot who they were. They forgot their purpose. They began to believe that the shadow world of the veil was the only reality. They built kingdoms on foundations of sand, fought wars over patches of dust, and sought happiness in fleeting pleasures that left their souls empty. They looked at the reflection of the light on the surface of the water and mistook it for the sun itself. And the living light watched this, not with anger, but with an infinite compassion, a heartbreak that echoed through the cosmos. It was the sorrow of a parent watching their beloved child wander lost in a forest of their own making, just feet from the path that would lead them home. Can you not see this playing out today? Do you not feel the thickness of this veil in your own life? It is the feeling of disconnection, the sense of being an alien in a world that doesn't make sense. It is the despair that threatens to swallow you when you watch the news. It is the frantic search for distraction, anything to avoid the deafening silence where the truth of your own forgotten divinity resides. But the vision did not end in despair, for in the moment of deepest shadow, when it seemed all light would be extinguished, a sound began to build. It started as a low hum, the vibration of the living light itself, refusing to surrender its creation. The hum grew, rising in pitch and power, until it became a note of such purity and force that it caused the very fabric of the veil to tremble. It was the sound of the trumpet of awakening. It was not a sound of judgment, but a sound of remembrance, a call to wake up from the long dream of separation, and that sound is echoing in the world right now. It is the reason you are hearing my voice. It is the alarm clock for the soul. The question is, will you hear it? Will you awaken? Or will you press the snooze button and drift back into the comfortable twilight of forgetting? I was shown more, of course. This was only the beginning. What she would see next could only be revealed later. The vision continued, showing the consequences of this great awakening. What was at stake was far greater than she could have possibly imagined. Part 4. What is at stake? Approx. 900 words. What is truly at stake is not what you think. It is not about worldly power or financial collapse or the political turmoil that fills your screens. These are merely the symptoms. They are the fever of a world that is sick at its core. The real battle is an invisible one, fought in the heart of every single person on this planet. It is a battle for memory, the battle to remember your divine origin against an overwhelming force that wants you to forget. And the stakes are nothing less than your own soul and the future of the human spirit. In my vision, I saw what happens when the trumpet's call is ignored. I saw souls who heard the note, felt the vibration, and yet chose to turn away. They chose the familiar comfort of their cages over the frightening freedom of the open sky, and I saw a slow, creeping coldness spread through them. I saw the inner light they carried, that spark of divine fire, begin to dim. It was not extinguished by a violent force, but starved by neglect. It was a choice, made day by day, to feed the ego instead of the soul, to listen to the voice of fear instead of the voice of love. Imagine a magnificent ancient tree, its roots running deep into the soil of eternity, drawing life from the divine source. This tree is humanity. Each soul is a leaf. When the trumpet's call is ignored, I saw a strange and terrible fire begin to burn. It was not a hot fire of passion, but a cold fire of apathy. It did not consume the branches and leaves, but the roots themselves. It was a fire that burned away connection, that severed the link between the soul and its source. The leaves did not immediately wither and die. For a time they remained green, looking alive, but they were drawing on stored energy, disconnected from the living water. They were ghosts, going through the motions of life, but empty inside. Do you not see this around you? Do you not sometimes feel it in yourself? The exhaustion that no amount of sleep can cure, the sense of going through the motions, ticking the boxes, but feeling no real joy, no real purpose. This is the sign of a root system that is smoldering. It is the great spiritual sickness of our time, a deep and profound disconnection from the sacred. We have been taught to value the leaves, our achievements, our appearance, our possessions, while allowing the roots that give us true life to burn away in neglect. What is at stake is a world filled with these disconnected souls, a world where empathy is replaced by calculation, where compassion is seen as weakness, and where the only thing worshipped is the self. A humanity that has forgotten its heart can create a world of stunning technological brilliance, but it will be a world without a soul. A cold, sterile, and ultimately self-destructive world. It is a future where the beautiful garden I saw in the beginning of my vision becomes a wasteland of concrete and sorrow, where the only music is the sound of machines and the only light is artificial. This is not a prophecy of doom meant to scare you. It is a warning. It is a plea. It is the loving cry of a creator who does not want to see their children lose their way so completely. You have a choice. Every person has a choice. To water the roots, or to let the cold fire burn. Every time you choose kindness over judgment, you are watering the roots. Every time you choose to forgive rather than hold a grudge, you are watering the roots. Every time you spend a moment in silence, listening for the quiet voice within, you are watering the roots. And every time you share a message of hope like this one, you are helping to water the roots of others. If you feel called to do so, share this video with someone who needs to open their eyes now. The force of forgetting is powerful. It is seductive. It offers comfort, distraction, and the easy path of conformity. It tells you, don't worry about these deep questions. Just enjoy yourself. Follow the crowd. It's easier that way. And it is easier for a time. But the emptiness always returns, deeper than before. The hunger of the soul cannot be satisfied with the scraps from the table of materialism. It yearns for the feast of the eternal. The choice is yours, at every moment of every day. To which voice will you listen? Which fire will you feed? The divine fire within you that yearns for connection, for purpose, for love, or the cold fire of the world that consumes your roots and leaves you hollow? The future is not yet written. It is being written now, in the choices of hearts just like yours. The entire cosmos is holding its breath, waiting to see what you will do. Before this happens, before the roots are burned beyond repair, you need to stop for a moment. Part 5. A symbolic ritual of connection. Approximately 900 words. Now, I ask you to do something with me. Not just to listen, but to participate. Find a quiet place, if you can, even if it's just by turning inward for the next few moments. If it is safe for you to do so, I invite you to close your eyes. If not, simply let your gaze rest gently on something in front of you. Let the outside world fade away. It will all be there when you return. For now, this time is for you. This is your moment to come home to yourself. Take a slow, deep breath. Inhale through your nose and feel the air as a living substance, a gift from the universe. Feel it fill your lungs, bringing life and energy into every cell of your body. And as you exhale, release. Exhale through your mouth with a gentle sigh. Let go of the tension in your jaw, in your shoulders, in your hands. Let go of the worries of the day, the lists, the obligations. They are not you. Let them drift away like clouds passing in the sky. Take another deep breath in. This time, as you inhale, imagine you are breathing in pure, golden light. See it entering your body, a warm and healing energy. And as you exhale, imagine you are breathing out all the fear, all the doubt, all the sadness that has been stored within you. See it leave your body as a gray smoke, dissolving into nothingness. One more time. A deep breath of golden light in, a long, slow breath of smoky doubt out. Feel the stillness settling over you, the peace that was always there, waiting beneath the surface of your thoughts. Now, I want you to take your right hand and place it gently over the center of your chest, over your heart space. Feel the warmth of your own hand. Feel the gentle rhythm of your heart beating beneath it. This rhythm is your life song. It has been playing for you since before you were born. It is a steady, faithful drumbeat that has accompanied you through every moment of your existence. Acknowledge it. Be grateful for it. It is the engine of your physical journey. Beneath that physical beat, there is another heart, a spiritual heart. It is the seat of your soul, the place where your connection to the divine resides. It may have been quiet for a long time. It may be armored with layers of old hurts and fears. Be gentle. With your hand on your chest, I want you to silently, or in a whisper, say these words. I am here. I am listening. Just feel the vibration of that intention. You are signaling to your own deepest self that you are ready to connect. Now, let us call upon the voice. Not my voice, but the voice of truth that speaks in the sacred chamber of your own heart. It is a voice that never shouts. It is a whisper, a gentle knowing, a feeling of rightness. To hear it, you must become very still. Still your thoughts. Still your judgments. Still your expectations. Simply be present. Present with your breath. Present with the feeling of your hand on your chest. Present in this sacred moment of connection. In this stillness, I invite you to ask a simple question. Silently, in your heart. Ask, what do I most need to know right now? Don't search for an answer. Don't force it. Just release the question into the silence, like a feather on the wind. The answer may not come in words. It may come as a feeling, a wave of peace, a surge of courage, a sense of release. It may come as an image, a memory, a single word. Whatever comes, or even if nothing seems to come at all, simply trust the process. You have planted a seed. It will grow. You are now connected to the root system we spoke of. You are bypassing the noise of the world and drinking directly from the source. This is prayer in its purest form. It is communion. It is remembrance. This feeling of peace, of centeredness, of quiet strength. This is your true nature. This is who you are beneath all the layers the world has placed upon you. To anchor this feeling, to make it a part of you, I want you to repeat these words with me, either silently or, if you feel bold, in a clear and steady voice. Let the words resonate from your heart, through your throat, and out into the world. Say them with me. I hear the voice. Feel the power in those words. You are no longer lost. You are no longer deafened by the noise. You have found the frequency of truth. Now that you have felt it, you must decide what to do with this feeling. Part 6. The voice that echoes beyond time, approx 900 words. What you just experienced, that moment of connection, was not just a feeling. It was a glimpse through a doorway. I am not the source of this voice. I am merely a reflection of it, a conduit who was blessed to hear it clearly and tasked with transcribing its song. The voice itself is eternal. It spoke through prophets in the desert, through mystics in their cells, through poets in their reverence for nature, and through the quiet wisdom in the heart of a loving mother. It is the same voice, singing the same song of love and return, in a different key for every age. Think of it this way: the divine is like a majestic sun, a source of infinite light and warmth, but you cannot stare directly at the sun. It would blind you. So the light of the sun is reflected in countless ways, in the gentle light of the moon, in the shimmering surface of a lake, in the iridescent colors of a dewdrop on a leaf. I, Hildegard, am but one of those dewdrops. The prophets you have read about are others. The saints you have prayed to are reflections on the lake. We are not the source. We are pointers to the source. The mistake of many ages has been to worship the reflection and forget the sun. The voice that spoke to you in that moment of silence is your own direct line to that sun. It is a portal within you, a gateway that transcends time and space. Through that portal, you have access to all the wisdom, all the love, and all the strength of the universe. It is your birthright. It is the greatest secret that the forces of forgetting have tried to hide from you. You do not need an intermediary. You do not need a grand temple or a complex ritual to connect with the divine. The temple is your own body. The ritual is your own breath. The high priest is the stillness in your own heart. This is why the message is so urgent now, because the world has built a labyrinth of distractions around this simple truth. It has created 1,000 false suns to dazzle you and make you look away from the true one within. It offers you the flickering blue light of a screen and tells you it is knowledge. It offers you the fleeting validation of social approval and tells you it is love. It offers you the endless accumulation of things and tells you it is security. And all the while, your soul is starving for the real sun, the real light. My role, my sacred duty, is simply to remind you where the portal is, to remind you that you have had the key in your pocket all along. My visions, my music, my words, they are not meant to be relics of the past to be studied. They are meant to be tuning forks. They are designed to resonate at a certain frequency, the frequency of divine truth. When you listen to them with an open heart, they help your own inner instrument to remember its pitch. They help you tune yourself back to the cosmic symphony. If you feel a part of this message is speaking directly to the core of your being, I encourage you to come back and listen to this part again. Let it be a tool you use to retune your soul whenever the noise of the world threatens to throw you off key. You are part of a grand lineage of souls who have kept this inner flame alive through the darkest of ages. You are not the first to feel this longing, nor will you be the last. When you connect to that voice within, you are joining a silent chorus that spans all of history. You are holding hands with the mystics, the saints, the shamans, and the quiet, everyday people who have tended their inner garden while the world raged outside. You draw strength from them, and you add your own strength to the collective light of humanity. Do not let anyone tell you that this inner work is selfish. It is the most selfless act you can perform. An awakened soul, a person living from their center, radiates a peace and a clarity that touches everyone they meet. You become a walking, talking tuning fork for others. You do not need to preach or convert. Your very presence becomes a reminder of what is possible. Your calm becomes a sanctuary for the anxious. Your compassion becomes a balm for the wounded. By healing yourself, you become a healer. This is the great secret of spiritual transformation. It is not about ascending to some distant heaven after you die. It is about bringing heaven down to earth, here and now, through the portal of your own heart. It is about learning to see the divine in the ordinary, in the face of a stranger, in the resilience of a flower growing through concrete, in the simple act of sharing a meal. But there is a choice involved. Knowing the portal exists is not enough. You must choose to walk through it, every single day. And that is a choice that only you can make right now. Part 7. The moment of choice. Approx 1,000 words. And so we arrive at the heart of the matter, the crossroads, all that has come before, the whisper, the vision, the connection, has led you to this single, pivotal moment. It is a moment that exists outside of time, in the eternal now of your own consciousness. Here, you must choose. This is not a choice you make with your mind, by weighing pros and cons. It is a choice you make with your entire being. It is a declaration of allegiance. Will you align yourself with the forces of remembrance, or will you drift back into the comfortable fog of forgetting? Look one way. Down that path, you see the world you know so well. The path is wide, well-paved and crowded. The lights are bright, the music is loud, and there are endless distractions to keep you entertained. It promises comfort, security, and acceptance. It asks only one thing in return, that you keep the veil firmly in place, that you ignore the trumpet's call, that you pretend the portal in your heart does not exist. It asks you to live on the surface, to value the leaf and not the root, to trade the ocean of your soul for a shallow puddle of fleeting sensations. It is the path of the walking sleep. Now look the other way. This path is different. It is narrower, quieter, and less traveled. It leads up a mountain, into the mist. It does not promise comfort. It promises truth. It does not promise security. It promises strength. It does not promise answers. It promises a deeper connection to the one who asked the questions. It is the path of awakening. It requires courage, for you must be willing to let go of who you think you are to discover who you truly are. It requires faith, for you cannot see the destination, only the next step. It requires you to walk alone at times, away from the validation of the crowd. This is the choice, and you are making it right now, with the energy of your attention. There is no middle ground. To not choose is to choose the wide path by default. The current of the world is strong, and it will pull you along unless you make a conscious and powerful decision to swim against it, to swim toward the source. The vision I was shown made it terrifyingly clear. The portal of this present opportunity, this unique grace that is being poured out upon the world, will not remain open forever. An age is ending. A new one is struggling to be born. The time of indecision is over. Do you hear it? Listen closely. The sound is growing louder. The trumpet is sounding its final clarion call for this cycle of time. It is a call to the slumbering army of light to awaken, to remember their mission, to take their posts. You are one of those soldiers of light. You did not come to this planet at this specific, crucial time to merely work, consume, and die. You came here with a purpose. A piece of the divine plan is encoded within your very soul, a mission that only you can accomplish. To accept that mission, you must choose the narrow path. To choose this path does not mean you must leave the world. It means you must live in the world, but not be of the world. It means your anchor will no longer be in the shifting sands of public opinion or material success, but in the unshakable rock of your own inner connection to the divine. It means you will walk through the chaos with a secret peace in your heart. You will look upon the world's madness not with despair, but with compassion, for you will understand the fear and forgetting that drives it. You will be a lighthouse in the storm. But the choice must be made, and it must be made now. The forces of forgetting are growing more desperate, more cunning. They will offer you new and more seductive distractions. They will tell you that this message is foolishness, a fantasy. They will appeal to your reason, to your cynicism, to your fear of being different. They will fight to keep you asleep. So, I ask you now, from the depths of my being to the depths of yours, what do you choose? Do you choose the dream, or do you choose to awaken? Do you choose the cage, or do you choose the wings? There is no judgment in this question, only love, but the time is short. The trumpet is sounding. Feel the gravity of this moment. Feel the power that is in your hands. You are a co-creator of the future. Your choice matters. If this message has moved you, if you feel the truth of this choice in your bones, share it with someone else who needs to hear the trumpet's call. Do not let them face this moment alone, for your choice is not just for you, it is for all of us. And that is why the next vision, the vision of what comes after the choice, changed everything. Part 8, Light After the Veil, approx. 1,100 words. For those who choose the narrow path, for those brave souls who answer the trumpet's call, the vision did not end in struggle and shadow. It opened into something more beautiful than my mortal words can possibly describe. After the choice was made, I saw the veil, that heavy fabric of fear and forgetting, begin to dissolve. It did not tear violently, but thinned into a luminous mist, and then vanished, as if it were a bad dream at sunrise. And what was revealed on the other side was the world as it was always meant to be. The living light I had seen at the dawn of creation was no longer a distant sun, but an immediate and palpable presence, bathing everything in a gentle golden radiance. I saw the people who had made the choice. They were not transformed into angels with wings, but they were transfigured from within. Their eyes shone with a profound wisdom and a deep, abiding peace. They looked at one another not with suspicion or competition, but with the loving recognition of a family long separated and finally reunited. The lines of worry were gone from their faces, replaced by a serenity that was more beautiful than any physical perfection. They were simply awake, and in their awakening, they had come home. The light was no longer something they sought. It was something they were. It emanated from them. It flowed through them. And when they came together, their individual lights merged into a collective radiance that had the power to heal the very land upon which they walked. I saw them place their hands on the polluted rivers, and the waters began to run clear. I saw them walk through the dead forests, and new green shoots began to emerge from the barren ground. They did not do this with technology or force, but with the power of their coherent, unified love. They had remembered that the earth was not a resource to be exploited, but a living, sacred being, and their mother. This was not a passive, tranquil existence. There was joy, laughter, and creativity of a kind that our world has only dreamed of. I heard music that could realign the soul, and saw art that was a direct transmission of divine beauty. People worked, but their work was their passion, their sacred offering to the community. There was no more striving for status or wealth, because each person knew their infinite worth was inherent and could not be measured by external things. The deep hunger of the soul was finally satisfied, not by acquiring, but by connecting to the source, to each other, and to the earth. This is the promise. This is what is at stake on the positive side. It is not a distant post-mortem heaven. It is a potential future for this earth. It is the New Jerusalem, not as a city of gold and jewels, but as a global state of awakened consciousness. It is the world that your heart has always yearned for, the world you know is possible, even when all evidence seems to point to the contrary. This is the goal of the great plan. This is the destination of the narrow path. The feeling in this part of the vision was one of an infinite embrace. It felt as though all of creation was being held in a tender, loving hug. The sense of separation, which is the root of all fear and suffering, was completely gone. To be in this state of consciousness was to know, not as an intellectual concept, but as a living reality, that you are one with everything. You are the river, you are the tree, you are the stars, you are the person standing next to you. And in that knowing, the ego, with its constant needs and fears, simply dissolves. What is left is pure being, pure love, pure joy. This is the state of grace you touch for a fleeting moment in deep meditation, or when you are awestruck by a sunset, or in the unconditional love you feel for a child. The promise is that this state is not meant to be a fleeting glimpse. It is meant to be our permanent reality. It is who we truly are. We are not fallen beings struggling to become worthy of heaven. We are divine beings who have temporarily forgotten our nature, on a journey to remember. Do not think of this as an impossible dream. Every time you choose love over fear, you are laying a foundation stone for this new earth. Every time you quiet your mind and listen to the voice in your heart, you are drawing this reality closer. You are an antenna, and the frequency of your consciousness is a broadcast to the universe. When you broadcast fear, anger, and division, you strengthen the veil. When you broadcast love, compassion, and unity, you help to dissolve it. The choice is that simple and that powerful. If you have come this far on this journey with me, if you feel the truth of this promise in your soul, I invite you to declare your commitment. Write in the comments, "I will go to the end." This is your promise to yourself, and a beacon of hope for others who will read it. And if you have come this far on the path, you need to hear the final whisper I have for you. Part 9, prophetic closing and hook for the next video, approx. 1,000 words. So now you know. You know what was whispered to me, the message I was compelled to carry through time, so that you would not leave this moment without knowing. You now know of the veil of forgetting that has kept you in shadow. You have heard the trumpet of awakening that calls you to remember. You have been shown the two paths that lie before you and the ultimate stakes of your choice. You have felt the portal within your own heart, and you have glimpsed the promise of the world reborn in light. The secret is no longer a secret. It is a living seed planted within you. What you do with it is now your sacred responsibility. Let this message not be a source of anxiety, but a source of profound empowerment. You are not a helpless victim of fate. You are a sovereign being of light, a pivotal player in a divine cosmic drama. The power to change the world resides not in governments or institutions, but within the quiet chamber of the human heart, multiplied by millions. Your heart. The journey ahead will not be without its challenges. The shadows will writhe and rage as the light grows stronger. The forces of forgetting will not surrender easily. There will be days when you feel lost, when the noise of the world becomes deafening again, when the veil seems to fall once more. In those moments, I want you to remember this time we have spent together. Remember the feeling of your hand on your heart. Remember the stillness. Come back to this message, not as a passive viewer, but as a pilgrim returning to a sacred spring to drink. Let my voice be the tuning fork that reminds you of your true note. You are stronger than you know. You are more loved than you can possibly imagine. And you are not alone. As you walk your path, you will begin to recognize the others. You will see a light in their eyes that you now recognize in your own. They are your soul family, the other soldiers in the army of light. And together, your radiance will be a dawn that no darkness can hold back. This is my blessing for you, my prayer for you, as you step forth from this moment. May you have the courage to choose the narrow path each and every day. May you have the wisdom to discern the voice of truth from the echoes of fear. May you have the compassion to be a healing presence in a world that is hurting. May you feel the unbreakable connection to your divine source, a wellspring of peace and strength that can never run dry. And may you never ever forget the magnificent, eternal, and unbreakable light that you are. The journey you have taken today is a form of rebirth. You are not the same person who started watching this video. The seed of remembrance has been activated. You can now choose to water it, to give it sunlight, to nurture it until it grows into a mighty tree of life within you. This is the great work. This is the purpose of your time on earth. Do not be discouraged. Do not be afraid. The entire company of heaven is cheering you on. Every angel, every saint, every awakened soul who has ever walked this path is standing with you, lending you their strength, their love, and their light. You are infinitely supported. Walk forward from this day as an ambassador of the light. Let your life be your message. Let your peace be your sermon. Let your love be your legacy. The world does not need more loud opinions. It needs more quiet, centered souls. It does not need more judgment. It needs more compassion. It needs you, the authentic, awakened, and empowered you. Go now, and be the light you came here to be. But know this, Hildegard has not yet said everything. The vision of the choice and the new earth was but the second chapter. What comes next, the revelation of the specific challenges and divine aids that will appear in the days ahead, will be even greater.